Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome and thank you so much for joining me. Today I have a haul from Scrap PDX. Scrap PDX is a creative reuse store. If you're not familiar with that term, think of it as a giant thrift garage sale of donated arts and crafts supplies. So a little bit of a mess, not for the faint of heart. You need to be prepared to work for your bargains, okay? And Scrap PDX is big, so it's not like the tiny little well-curated one that I went to in Spokane. This is a very different kind of place. Today I found some treasures, and then I'll tell you about my friend Katie's, and I'll tell you about some things I didn't pick up that, I don't know, if you're in the Portland area, maybe you want to go pick them up. Okay, I got an embossing folder. This one is a honeycomb. They call it honeycomb. That would be great for bees, wouldn't it? I was just going to call it a hexagon pattern. If you'll notice, the price isn't on this, the retail price. The price I paid, 50 cents. Not too bad. I got these labels. There was like an entire case basket thing of them by the front door. I mean, a whole bunch of them. And I got these for Tasha, who is a date with my craft room, because I thought she might like them for her junk journals. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep one, but I didn't get them for me. They were 10 cents a piece if anyone's interested. And I think there might have been another design of this, but I think this was all the fruit there was. But like I said, I mean, it was a giant thing of them. They will be there for a while if you need some. I went through the envelopes, and there weren't many envelopes that were the quality that I was interested in. And I was also having trouble with the size. I don't know why I couldn't measure. I didn't actually think that these cards I brought home were A2 or envelopes, but they are A2 size. I think it's because the envelope was slightly bigger than the card measurements I had in my head. These are sort of like some that I bought long ago. They're like a sagey green almost, a little texture. There were quite a few craft ones that I picked up and must not have purchased, but I think they were longer. I think they might have been like an A7 size or something. So envelopes there are many signs, but I think you actually pay a nickel a piece, which is fine. That's totally fine. I picked up this pad of paper. Notice this probably isn't a fabulous price for this. On clearance at Michael's or Joann or with a coupon, $1.50 for 12 sheets of paper. Yeah, maybe this wasn't great. It's not a brand that I'm familiar with or anything, but I want to support this store. Does that make sense? So some stuff I'm like, yeah, I think I'd like to have that. And so I take it home with me for $1.50. But, if you're a good bargain shopper, you can probably beat that. I'm just trying to get it open so you can take a peek. It says woven paper. It has a pattern, and then they all have like a grid texture to them. So the pattern and the texture on the paper don't match at all, but I think the pattern, the texture of it, like it's embossed, is nice. If you have embossing folders, you could do something much nicer even, but I just thought it was fun, so I picked it up. A little impulse purchase, right? Same for this piece of paper. You know I don't need paper, but I liked it. Has a bee. It's purple and another purple and a blue and birds. So I picked it up. This is American Crafts. They do a lot of different cardstock for sure. And then the back isn't bad either. It's kind of pinkish for me and has like a bit of a watermark on it. But I really bought it for this side. I don't know if I'll cut the birds out or what. Who knows? Maybe you'll see it in some cards. Maybe it'll just sit in my paper stash for a while. This tube of what I think are glass seed beads, is that what they're called, you guys? Was $1. There were others that I saw that were $2. This one I picked up because Andrea might have already used those other beads that I got from Tasha, and if she hasn't, or maybe she doesn't want these, I'll keep these. But I thought those would be fun. I picked up a brand new package of white rickrack. This is great to put on cards, journals, anything. It's just a nice texture. They had a bunch of gold, but vintage gold compared to today's gold embellishments, they aren't the same. They don't match, and it kind of makes me crazy. And I have mostly not vintage. Then I decided it's spring, so I picked up white. I don't think I have any white. An unopened pack, I think, is 50 cents. Then this is giant chipboard tags. There's 3 of them in the pack. They're blue. I mean, we know why I bought these, right? They're blue. It's a sealed pack, so I didn't look. I guess it's not actually sealed. I didn't look to see if all 3 of them are still here. Yes, they are. Okay, I'm probably going to cover up the teddy bear one. And they're a texture, you know, like they're like this. The texture of a 6x6 pad. So I'll probably just use them as a base to build on. But I thought for $1.25, and I liked the blue rings on them. Then look at this. Dies. Dies in Scrap PDX. I hadn't seen dies in there before. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys have seen them in my videos. Looks like a cherry blossom. I don't know what's going on here. Some kind of branch. I mostly bought this for the bird cage. For $2, I thought it was definitely worth it. The only other die I saw in there was a big, long Tim Holtz number or alphabet one. And I have one like that. I might have even dumped it. That came apart and I didn't like, and I didn't need that one. But I thought this was pretty good. Now, I don't think this is a real fancy brand of dies. It's a Spellbinders color, but I do not think these are Spellbinders dies. And for the most part, I'm of the belief that any dies are good dies. Hopefully these aren't like some special thing that I'm not supposed to run through my machine. No, they feel fine. So I got those. I thought that was pretty good. I was excited. And then I got this. I think it's missing a piece right here, but it's like those cases that I get at Daiso, but I don't have a Daiso near me. So I'm assuming I can put, let's try it, a 6x6 and some ephemera that goes with it, put it in there, and that is my travel pack for a kit. And that's kind of how I was envisioning it. I think it's definitely worth 75 cents. Probably not much more since it's missing a thing and I didn't notice. I almost forgot 2 more items because I didn't unpack all the way. I bought a ruler, just a basic, I think this was 25 or 50 cents. And I got this because I've been watching Marcia of ZC Creations, Z-E, I'll just link below. How about that? She did a thing quite a while ago. She uses a, oops, I don't think you're supposed to do it that way. Maybe learn from somebody else. She uses a ruler that has like notches out of it, and then she takes her paper and tears it against it. So it gives you like that vintage look. Maybe I need something less aggressive. And gives you like an easy tear. So then you just take your paper and you lay it down there. I don't have any paper I want to tear. And so you'd put it right here, and then you'd grab this paper and you tear it off. And it gives it that notched look like fancy scissors or something else would. So I thought, well, for 50 cents, I'll try it. And I was going to get more than one, but then the other one was marked like $1, and I didn't know what made it so special, but I probably should have gotten more than one. It could also be that this is a really, really old ruler. Yeah, and maybe it's super brittle. Like, maybe it's not about me. I don't know. This isn't really what I was going for. More like toothy like this. Maybe you should watch hers and see. And then I couldn't resist these. Do I need these? Probably not. They are an entire thing of tags for $1. I mean, quite frankly, they could have broken this up into a bunch of kits, right? And we would have bought them. Somebody was asking how I make my tags. Well, I make them, sometimes I borrow dies from Noni, sometimes I trace something like this. I do all kinds of things. So I thought these would be handy because I could glue pretty paper over them, even though they're not very thick, layer both sides up and make tags with these as part of scrap usage. And for $1, I think that was definitely worth it, right? But you can see different people pricing different things, and not paper crafters, because you could have gone like this, right? And we would have easily bought them for $1, I think. I don't know. Maybe you guys wouldn't have, but anyway, I bought a whole stack of tags for $1. I spent $10 and some change. I think I spend pretty much the same amount every time. I looked for 12 by 12 paper cases. The only one that, well, there were 2. One had a bunch of stuff in it and was sold as a pinwheel kit, and it was kind of overfilled, so I wasn't sure it would ever be the same. The other one was $4. It was a colored case. It wasn't the shape that lines up with my others, and it was dirty. It was really, really grimy. So I didn't think that was great. But Katie went through the sewing area. She got a brand new spool of thread from Italy that was, I think, a $10 or $12 spool of thread for $1. I think she got a few other bits and bobs. Oh, she got some of those buttons that you pop together and cover with fabric for like little quilting projects or purses or whatever. So she had fun, but her total was $5 and some change. What I noticed in the paper crafting section is somebody different is pricing stuff. It was quite a bit higher, and somebody like me had cleaned out their page kits. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Kits like this. See right here, where you have a 12 by 12 layout and the product to make it in a kit. Somebody had cleaned out a ton of those. There were some from Embellish Online that I recognized. There were a couple other companies I can't think of. There was even one that had some authentique paper in it. Those were $4 a piece, and there weren't any that were blue or that I had to have. I already have plenty of UFOs, so I didn't need somebody else's. But there were a ton. So if you're a 12 by 12 scrapbooker and you want a head start, you might want to go in and pick some of those up. And most of them were in the corner in a tub in the paper crafting in the very corner, but some were mixed in. So that was one thing that I saw that was a pretty good value. I'm interested to see how it evolves in the coming months. I know they're having some change in management and different things, and it's a place that I would happily donate to, but some of the things, they don't realize that we use 40% off coupons. So what I found, I was going to show you, the things that I purchased, they didn't have retail price tags on them. Because what I was seeing was if something had a retail price tag, then they were pricing it about half or a third of that. Well, if it's crafters, we probably bought it for 40% off in the first place, and some of the stuff that's in there is very, very old. I did see a tiny bit of basic gray. It was in a sealed pack, and I couldn't tell for sure if it was it said something about an idea book. I already bought some of the other stuff there before, I think, so I wasn't sure if there was even $3 worth of stuff in the thing. I was on the lookout for basic gray because if people are cleaning out their stash. If they have a bunch of 6x6s, I haven't figured out where they keep them yet. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. I have 2 different trips coming up, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to keep up and get all my projects packed. I packed up to craft at Katie's today. I forgot my dies. I brought my sidekick, I brought my paper, I had a whole bunch of card fronts, I was going to put the sentiments on, I forgot the dies. It was a little bit heartbreaking. So I made a few more card bases while I was there, but it kind of came to a screeching halt. So be sure when you pack up to go to a friend's, you bring everything. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.